Warning, the following audio transmission will forever change your outlook on society. You will no longer believe the narrative. You are about to wake up and see things for what they really are. News, facts, and opinions. This is the Doom Daily Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Doom Daily Show. I am your host, Jester Dooms. The email, doomdailyshow@gmail.com. Everywhere on social media at Jester Dooms. Go to the website, www.jestersvoice.com. While you're there, leave us an audio message using the button at the top of the screen. And yeah, come check me out everywhere on social media at Jester Dooms. Yes. I hope everybody is having a fantastic Monday. It is Monday. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing? Do we have any big plans for the week? Because I know I do. I do. So I also hope you had a great weekend. Got my Rise mushroom coffee. This is one of those drinks that's kind of good to have like at any time of the day because it's so mild. It just doesn't make me all jittery and crazy. Like if I need a little afternoon pick me up, boom, good. Let's rock and roll. Anyway, so I hope your weekend was fantastic.
And this is where things take a left turn. This is Producer Scooter, and I'm here to let you know that Jester will not be with us this beautiful Monday morning. Hopefully you guys survived the weather overnight. I know that here in Oklahoma, where I am located, we've had a Sunday full of crappy weather. 60-mile-an-hour winds blew down half of the sections of my fences in the back, so I can no longer let the dog out to go potty because the fence is down. And now getting out there to repair it is taking an extraordinarily long time. But enough about my problems. Anyway, hope you guys are having a wonderful Monday morning. And like I said, I hope you all survived any and all of those terrific winds, tornadoes, and snowstorms that may have come your way. We'll be taking a walk back through the archives of the Doom Daily Show, and maybe a little bit from the Beans and Weenie Show. I don't know yet. I haven't figured it out. So just ride along with me on this magic carpet. Let's see where it takes us today. This is the Doom Daily Show. We're going to ride that magic carpet all the way back to October of 2024. Let's find out what Jester had on his mind on that day.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Doom Daily Show. I am your host, Jester Dooms. The email, doomdailyshow@gmail.com. Follow everywhere on social media at Jester Dooms. Also, check out the website, www.jestersvoice.com. Go on there where you could find the other show and you can listen to episodes and you could find out what's going on. And soon to be Linktree link on there as well, which takes you pretty much everywhere at that point. Also, there's some big exciting changes coming to that website as well. So definitely go check that out. Put it in your bookmarks, all that good stuff. And also add me on Snapchat at Jester Dooms. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the show. I hope you're having a lovely Monday morning. I am in the epitome of suck today. So if you're listening to this on Monday morning, I can tell you that we are only a week away from the election. Okay. And it's coming down to the wire. And I'm seeing people like really stressed out, really freaking out. And some people are just like, meh, whatever, I don't care. And there's other people out there that are, I guess, thinking that things are going to come to a head and we're going to have a civil war taking place within America. There's other people that think like, if Kamala gets in, I'm going to lose my house. If Trump gets in, I'm going to lose everything. So I'm seeing kind of both sides of the spectrum here. And that I don't lean left nor right. I'm like in this weird independency in the middle, because I think it's all bullshit. Anyway, so moving on. Moving on from that, I look for us to see some crazy things later this week. If anything happens on election day, it's going to be undeniably honest. Okay. Let me rephrase this. If something happens on election day, it is going to be undeniable that was in fact orchestrated. Okay. That's that's the takeaway from that. So they can't do anything on election day, but you know what they could do something on? I don't know, Friday? Wouldn't that be interesting, ladies and gentlemen? Wouldn't that be interesting? So anyway, moving on from that, we, it's coming down to where we almost have a week left. And I'm like on the edge of my seat waiting to see what happens here. Amongst dealing with my own turmoil as well. Dude, I can't even speak. I'm so stressed out. So, we went over the weekend. We went out to Tennessee and did some family oriented things just to kind of get a break from everything that's going on here and, you know, special occasion type thing and went out there. Had a good time. Definitely had an enjoyable time, but it was pretty wild because like when we left town, it was pretty much getting dark, so you didn't notice the damage and the destruction, and it took us a weird way to get out to where we were going, so you didn't see any of the chaos, didn't see any of the destruction, nothing like that. But on the way back, we came through places where there were road closed and blah, 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 and all this shit, and had to go these weird ways, and you could still see the damage and the destruction and the closed businesses and everything else. So it was pretty nice getting away from everything that was going on here and everybody talking about the destruction in North Carolina and seeing it and dealing with it. Like, it was nice to get away from it. And then coming back just to move right back into it, it was almost like a surreal feeling, like, oh, we're back. That's right. Life is still not, the world's still not fully spinning here at the correct speed. So we're back to that. We also had one of our kitty cats pass away over the weekend, and Dooms is, I guess at this point in my life, I'm neither a big dog or cat person. I'm just an animal person in general. I just love all the critters. You know, it doesn't matter what they are. Come here, kitty, here, puppy. Like, it doesn't matter. I like them all, right? Preferably, I think I'd rather have a dog, in all honesty. But anyway, moving on. This cat we had approximately for 5 years, actually acquired him in October 5 years ago. The cat was a very normal cat, and we don't know why he expired. He just did. Now, this cat was definitely on the more obese side of the spectrum, and I don't know anything about feline diabetes or anything like that, but it was just a very, very sad day because we got this cat when we lived in the state of Florida, and the neighbor kids brought this cat to my wife, this little kitten that they just randomly found, and they said, here, our mom won't let us keep it. Do you want it? And my wife couldn't say no because he was this cute little kitty cat. And she calls me. She goes, you're gonna kill me. I said, what? She goes, we got another cat. I was like, are you fucking serious? Like, I'm trying to get less critters and you're accumulating more. So, but he grew on us like pretty quick, and he's been the most vocal cat we've ever had. Like, you could say something to him and he would say something back to you. And he was pretty much an all black cat, and I wear black socks for work. At one point in time when he was a kitten, I thought he was a sock. And I went to kick him back into the laundry pile thinking it was one of my socks, and it wasn't. So I felt horrible that I kicked the little kitten into the laundry because I thought he was a sock. But yeah, all those happy, fun memories of Mr. Casper was his name, Casper, because he came along at Halloween, and that's what the neighbor kids named him. So we just left it Casper. Whatever, dude. It's cool. But, you know, extremely good kitty cat. Very low maintenance, and didn't get himself into a world of trouble out in the woods with the other hardcore critters. You know, he's not out there wrestling with raccoons and squirrels and beating up rabbits like the other cats are. This one just kind of vegetated. Oh, I found some hay. Let me lay in the hay. Oh, you're putting food in this bowl. Okay, I'm just gonna stay by this bowl so I know where the food is and you know to feed me. He was just a very lazy, fat ass cat. So I'm maybe under the impression it was something weight related. I don't know, because I've had cats last a lot longer than 5 years. Okay, I don't know. Just very, very strange. So my wife is extremely upset. So I'm hoping that I'm not being too much of an asshole to her. I'm trying to be very, very nice. Anyway, Producer Scooter, hit that button. We'll be right back after these messages.
Can't get enough of Jester Dooms? Check out his other show, It's Doomsday Podcast, available on all podcast platforms. That's It's Doomsday Podcast.
Back to the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Doom Daily Show. I am your host, Jester Dooms. Okay, so let's break down this whole North Korean troops in Russia, okay? Because I know there's a lot of people that are uneasy about this, and I am pretty upset about this as well. I don't really know how to how to necessarily vocalize this, okay? Like, to me, this spells doom for America. That's what it spells to us, okay? We had a good relationship, so we thought, with North Korea and with Russia. When Trump was in, he went and broke bread with these guys, and he was like, look, you don't fuck with me, we don't fuck with you, everybody's happy, right? And Trump did his fair share of shit talking on Kim Jong-un and all these things. But now, from the stories I read, and I'm not referencing a news story in front of me, so just bear with me on this. From the feedback I've been getting and reading and all the things I've been seeing circulated on the internet, the story goes there's 3,000 troops there being trained by Russia. Okay, now you break this down and you kind of think about this for a second. Well, if we weren't funding the Ukraine, would North Korean troops need to be in Russia right now? No, probably not. If we weren't funding the war in Ukraine, would Putin allow North Korean troops there? No, probably not. So now what you have is you have a whole nother country, soldiers that could go into Ukraine and get killed with American funded weapons. And what do you think that does, ladies and gentlemen? This could be a potential global catastrophe. This could absolutely be the spark to World War III. And before you say, oh, well, Dooms, it's pretty much World War III now. No, it's not. There are factors for it being classified as a world war. So in order for this to, be a world war, okay, we need to have bigger power players in this fighting on the ground in different areas, okay? We need to have, as soon as we start having boots on the ground over there in Ukraine, you could go ahead and probably consider this a world war, right? Because it's like, one of the big things is you need multiple nations for a world war. You need to be fighting in a lot of different areas. You need to be using great advances against other people, like bigger technologies, things like that, more bombs, more things. We're not there yet. And it's also, the fighting with this also has to kind of take place across multiple continents, across the globe. It can't just be in one specific area. And right now it's kind of honed in one specific area, one specific region. But I just keep thinking in my head, old Kim has a bunch of rockets and missiles and things he wants to use that he's always testing. So I'm kind of wondering if he's going to start using some shit. That's my thought on it. And I'm hoping, ladies and gentlemen, I'm hoping this isn't the case. I'm hoping that we don't get ourselves into more conflict. I'm hoping what happens is, the Ukraine just says we're done, we surrender, because now we see that you're bringing in the North Koreans, and we can't keep going like this. And I hope the U.S. finally says, hey, we can't keep funding this. This has to stop at some point. So you need to just, you need to just surrender, give in to Putin's demands and be done with it, because he's clearly not stopping. We're over here sending all these billions of dollars over there, and he's like, that's cool, we're just going to keep going. And now he's like, hey, we'll call the North Koreans in. But I would love to be a fly on the wall for some of these conversations, like what's going on behind closed doors. Because, in the grand scheme of things, ladies and gentlemen, 3,000 troops coming from North Korea, that really ain't shit, right? So I think that this might be Putin just trying to make a statement like, hey, we have other countries on board, we are going to win this. The North Koreans already don't like the Americans, so if you keep funding these guys, you're going to be tracking on their radar too. And by God, if one of these guys gets killed with American weaponry, it's going to be a shit show, right? It is going to be a shit show. But what better time than right before the election for this to be taking place? And they kind of needed something to take away the fact that the people that were affected by FELINE are being denied $750 measly for their efforts, in their destruction and the things that they had to go through as you're sending billions over to go fund this war. Isn't it funny how all of a sudden now, we're getting the news of this? It's almost like it's orchestrated, isn't it? The idea that the North Koreans are now getting in bed with Russia and the idea that they're going to go over there to Ukraine and fight should be a concern for everybody. And if it's not a concern for you, you need to wake the fuck up and smell the roses, because this is a big goddamn deal. Okay. And we'll end up talking about this more probably on tomorrow's show or later on in the week when I have time to actually do more research and reading into this. Okay. Because right now it's been a crazy weekend for me. I've been out of town. I've been running around and I haven't had time to sit down and research things for the show like I would normally, read you guys news articles and go through things. But right now I'm just flying by the seat of my pants because I'm absolutely wiped. Okay. Absolutely freaking wiped. Anyway, Producer Scooter, hit that button. We'll be right back after these messages.
Jester from It's Doomsday Podcast and the Doom Daily Show here. Do you ever find yourself overloaded with way too much information? Too many logins, too many passwords, too many websites for stuff you like? Yeah, I'm the same way. You don't have to worry about that with the Doom Daily Show and It's Doomsday Podcast. Let's make it simple. Just visit linktree.com/JesterDooms. Add it to your bookmarks. That way, when you need to find the right information, it's right there, under a tap of your finger or a click of your mouse. Go to linktree.com/JesterDooms. Get it, got it, done. Remember, no one has all the answers, but this will provide you with a place to start. linktree.com/JesterDooms. And now, on with the conversation. And here's Jester.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Doom Daily Show. I am your host, Jester Dooms. If you're not following the show, if you have not subscribed yet, if you haven't given us a 5-star review, if you haven't did these things yet, do it. You ain't got nothing better to do. Just do it. Get it over with. Get it done. Okay? Get it done. So, I wanted to have a brief conversation about the STARLINK. Okay? Now, all right. So, for those of you that don't know, we did just get a STARLINK, and yesterday was the day I actually finally got this thing mounted up on the side of the house, up on the pole, and I'm now connecting different devices around the home to this thing to see its performance and see how it's doing. And I got to tell you what, it is exactly what I expected it to be. Okay? There are times that sucker is flying. I'm getting like 200 megabytes per second. I'm like, holy shit. And then there are other times that it's like dropping down to like 10 megabytes a second. And it's like, I understand that though, because it's grabbing different satellites and things in the sky and it's leaving this one, connecting to that one. So it's going to slow down. It's not, these satellites are up there in low Earth orbit and they're moving, right? So you're not connected to the same one all the time. So maybe you're connected to a newer one that's like, faster than the one you were previously connected to, or maybe it's a distance thing. Like this one is in very close proximity right now. So you're getting a really good connection. Because these things, they just kind of roll through the sky and they're just ping-ponging your information around. It's pretty interesting. Anyway, so we get the STARLINK set up. Like I said, got it done yesterday, getting all the devices put on it. Am impressed with the system. Really happy I'm getting it for free until the beginning of the year. That's pretty cool because it gives me kind of a trial run to test this thing out until I cancel my other internet, which I'm more than likely going to. So from the idea of a disaster standpoint, though, not to go into the prepper side of this too much, but if we would have had STARLINK here at my house before the hurricane hit, I never would have lost contact with people. I never would have lost contact. I don't know how many missed calls. I don't know how many calls I missed. I don't know. I just don't know. We were completely out of contact here at the house for days. And now having the STARLINK, that shan't happen again. But the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because with the whole idea of the STARLINK, I got a phone call today from one of my wife's friends that just shoots me a text message. I haven't heard from in over a year, right? My wife talks to her every day, but she don't ever call me. That's her friend. I don't like her. Anyway, so shoots me up. She goes, Dooms. I'm like, oh, fuck. Slut. What's up? She's like, so nothing. What are you doing? And I'm like, nothing. What do you want? And oh, well, I was at Disney and I was with my friends and my internet sucks and I heard you got STARLINK. So I wanted to hear all about it. And I'm like, well, I haven't had it long enough to form an opinion on it yet. But I'll let you know whenever I have a good opinion. And then it went from asking questions about STARLINK to basically just how bad her home internet sucks. And we actually have the same provider and she has a laundry list more issues than I do, where I currently am internet-wise. Now, my internet does go out every once in a while. It is kind of, every once in a blue moon, the internet goes out. And if anybody follows me anywhere on social media, if I've ever been live anywhere, whether it's like a live stream or it's one of the podcasts or something like that, you know that there's been times where it sounds like I'm underwater. It sounds like I'm in a tunnel, or the shit just dies and I'm gone and I'm not there anymore. Right? So, needless to say, she's having issues that are 10 times worse. They're having like a few outages a week, every week where she lives. And I think it's really funny because I lived in pretty close proximity. I mean, driving wise, like 30, 35 minutes away, maybe 40 and maybe 3 hours in rush hour. But so the long and the short of it is I didn't have that bad issues where I lived with that service. So it makes me think that there's something that they're doing down there where she lives consistently. They're working on stuff. They're trying to improve stuff. And with that comes outages. Okay. So I do want everybody to understand something for a second when it comes to the idea of technology, whether you're on home internet, whether you're on Starlink, whether it's your cell phone, it doesn't matter what it is. We as human beings expected these devices to work perfectly. And when they don't, we have a gigantic problem. So we expect a no failure rate all the time. That's just what we expect. But the problem is they're machines. They break down, equipment goes bad. It's, things happen. And, sometimes if it's simple maintenance, things are down. Okay, so nothing's ever going to be perfect. I'm sure there'll be times when the Starlink has an outage when they're doing stuff. Okay, I'm sure that'll be a thing. So the long and the short is, when I grew up, it was like the first cell phones that came along. You might have had to drive down one road, find one tree to stand next to on one hill, and that was the only place you could receive phone calls or call out. So that's the area of cell phones I grew up in. I grew up in the era of dial-up internet. So I remember calling that line and getting busy signals or the call being dropped or whatever, and it's taking you 15 minutes, 20 minutes, sometimes an hour to get online, especially if it was like a busy time, and your internet was shit. 3 days to download a fucking movie or an hour to download a song. And now we have technology that you just click a button and it instantaneously happens. Like zero lag, here it fucking is. But we as human beings are still in this mindset of we need these things to work and work with perfection and not have any issues and just do exactly what we tell them to do. And I think one thing that's funny about, these two hurricanes that rolled up, Milton and Helene, and all the damage that they did and destruction they did rolling up through Florida and shit. Well, it's really interesting because so many people are getting on board with the Starlink now. And they're dropping their home internet because their home internet sucks and it just keeps going up. It's almost like this is the next evolution in things, is to everybody to be connected wirelessly, right? That's almost like how it feels, we're moving into the area of is no more wires. Everything needs to be wireless. Like, you don't need to be tethered to something. You need to be able to be free to roam, to go, and not be tethered, okay? I'm waiting for them to have a Starlink hotspot, which I don't think is honestly that far away, that is basically a rechargeable box the size of a coffee can. You throw it on the back deck and boom, you got internet. Anywhere you fucking go. So I'm thinking that's probably going to be some shit we see here in the very near future. Anyway, producer Scooter, hit that button. We'll be right back.
Need a break from reality? Well, sometimes I do too, and the place I go to take that break is the Beans and Weenie Show. You can find the link at linktree.com/BWD crew. The Beans and Weenie Show, where chaos and common sense wage war and you get a front row seat.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Doom Daily Show. Once again, I am your host, Jester Dooms. Make sure you're following everywhere on social media at Jester Dooms. Add me on Snapchat. Shoot me an email, doomdailyshow@gmail.com. Whatever. Okay, so I've talked before on the show about, getting screwed over by people in your daily life and how Americans are really good at fucking each other over and how it seems to be an ongoing thing. Like, people are almost trained to do this. Like, how can I fuck you over before you fuck me over? And the amount of greed within people is absolutely insane, and how I'm seeing morals and shit just go out the windows. Well, I found myself in another one of these situations again, and I'm having this internal struggle on how to deal with it. Okay? Because I do have like 3 options. Option 1, I could just sit there and be a good little Dooms, and I could keep my mouth shut, and I could just let the bygones be the bygones, and I can just take it and hopefully get a little bit of lube and just keep moving through daily life. Right? Or I could effectively call some people out on their bullshit and put my ass in a sling at the same time, because it could effectively put me in a very bad position if I open my mouth. Okay, and say, hey, look, I'm done with your bullshit. I know exactly what you're doing. I'm tired of it. I'm done. I'm not here for it anymore. Like, I know the game. I know what you're doing. I know the shit you're playing. Like, I know what you're doing, right? Or I could say fuck all and not say anything, and I can go to very, very high levels above people and watch hell rain down upon people. I could do that too. And I mean, it's hard for me to do something like that, though, because I am this person that has good morals and good values, and I can't justify, no matter how bad things get for me, it's really hard to justify, going after someone to get even or doing anything with like a deviant intent. Like, I'm not wired that way. I'm not programmed that way. All right. I'm not. So, but like what I have found out and I've learned about myself over the years is when there are certain buttons that get pressed, those morals, those values, those things, they go out the window. And it takes a lot for those buttons to be pressed. Like, I mean, and they have to be pressed pretty damn hard for me to just ignore the values I have and do some stupid shit, right? Like, it really does. And I think that there could be a lot of reasons why I'm programmed this way. It could have been the heavy religious upbringing that I had. It could be from working in law enforcement and being programmed to kind of always do the right thing. It could have been morals that were instilled in me with the Boy Scouts. It could have been things I've seen growing up. I don't know. But it's like, for me, it is extremely hard for me to even bend the truth. It's extremely hard for me to lie to people. Guilt will eat me the fuck alive. It's horrible for me. I cannot do it. So like, I find myself in this weird position again, but I have actively said, like, to myself, we're not going to go out so quiet. Like, I've made that determination. I don't know what that means. Like, when I leave, I'm going to be loud. And I am going to make it very well known the fucking things that are taking place here, because I'm sick of this shit. Like, I'm just done. I'm so sick. Like, I feel at this point in my life, at the age I'm at in my life, I shouldn't have to deal with, like, this childhood fuckery or this high school drama or, the bullshit or, the lies that are told you on a daily basis. I felt like at some point people outgrew this shit, but no, apparently they fucking don't. Apparently they do not. And I made some of my best business relationships with people when I was self-employed because I was so honest with them. Like, I was really honest with my customers. Like, one of my first, larger customers that I made good money off of, we were getting set up to start doing a fabrication project for him. And he's like, dude, he says, can you handle this? And I said, well, I think I'm going to need this one tool that I don't currently own. So until I get that tool, dude, I don't know how quick we could start rolling these things out, because I just don't have the cash to go buy it. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, look, he says, Dooms, I got you, man. This is what we're going to do. He said, I'm going to give you the cash to get this tool, and we'll just consider it, your labor expense till it's paid back. And he says, are you good with that? I'm like, yeah, sure. Why not? You scratch my back, I scratch your back. I get to make money and keep doing things for you. That's fine. Good deal. So he hands me a wad of cash to go buy this tool. All right. And I go in there, and he knew exactly what the tool cost. So he handed me the exact amount. I go into the store, and I noticed that the tool is on sale, and they also have a coupon for so much % off. Anyway, I got the tool like $100 cheaper. So comes into the shop the next day, and he said, it was the next day or the day after, it was sometime that week, and I hand him a $100 bill. He says, what's this for? I was like, well, dude, that piece of equipment we needed to do this, it was marked down, plus I had a coupon, so we saved like $100 on it. Here you go. That's owed back to you. Because that's what an honest businessman does. He doesn't pocket your fucking money. It's not what he does. Okay. And he looked at me, he says, you know what? You keep that. And I said, well, it's not mine. It's technically yours. He says, yeah, but you didn't have to tell me that. I was like, no, I did have to tell you that because I didn't earn it, you know? And he says, listen, put that in your pocket. Consider that a bonus. When are we getting these parts cranked out that he needed? I was like, all right, dude, whatever. Actually ran into my wife, tells my wife, she goes, you know, old Jester up there, he's going to go pretty far if he keeps up that honest mentality. So anyway, you know, that was one circumstance. Another one that I dealt with over the years was, I had an employer that was, well, not an employer, it was a customer of mine when I was self-employed again. And he was doing these really big projects, right? These really big renovations. And he wanted me to do the work. And I said, you know, he says, do you want to put a bid in on this? And I says, yeah. So put a bid in. So I put the bid in, and it was a gigantic material expense, like fucking-gantic, right? Now, at the time, I would only mark up materials if it was in small increments, right? Like, so if I needed to go and get one thing specifically for the job and it was $100, I would like add 10% to it just to cover my time, my gas, whatever I needed to go get this, because I'm not working entirely for free, right? Kind of a deal. So when these bigger jobs are coming up though, when we're handling all this material and it's going straight from the factory to the job site, being delivered on a flatbed, I don't have to touch it. I don't have to look at it. I'm giving you that shit at my cost. Okay. And I'm doing that for two reasons. The one reason is this allows me to underbid other contractors and just make my money off labor, which is fine because I make more money off labor anyway. Okay. The second thing is it shows the honesty in your work, because I'm not making money off that material. I'm making money off what I'm worth. Right. So this customer was so impressed that I wasn't like giving them a bath on material expenses, because they knew how much they were, because they had other quotes. Right. And they couldn't believe how well I was able to undercut those other guys. They were so happy with that they continued to use me for years. And there were times I made like $50K a year just off of this one customer. So when I say that honesty and being straightforward and having good moral values does get you places, yeah, it does, but it doesn't get you the kind of places if you're a lying sack of shit, okay? It might get you somewhere now, but where's that going to get you later? I can walk through life with a clear conscience, knowing that most people that know me as being a hardworking, honest individual. They don't know me for being a druggie or a fucking, you know, a Looney Tune or a liar or some kind of crazy person. No. That's what they know me as. So think about that, and think about the situation that I'm sitting here describing about what I should do next and why I'm like, yeah, there's certain things that are just outside of my wheelhouse as far as fuckery goes. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. It's the end of the show. We'll see you back here on Tuesday. Producer Scooter, you look great tonight, by the way. Is that a new hat? Looks fantastic. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting out of here. We'll see you tomorrow.
News, facts, and opinions. This is the Doom Daily Show.